Hello YouTube and welcome to my channel. My name is Cleo. I'm coming at you guys with another Netflix series review, or would I say a documentary. It's a conversation with a killer, Jeffrey Dahmer's tapes. I did a review and fact video of the other documentary series in Netflix called Monster, a story about Jeffrey Dahmer. I will link the description down below. And yeah, I have pretty much been watching a lot of series and reading as much as I can. I'm a really slow reader, but I love books. I wish I could read faster than I do because it's really unmotivating when it goes so slow. But luckily I'm reading something interesting. I'm still on the cult books. I'm not gonna do a review of them until I read them both. And then I'm gonna bring up a couple of examples from the books. There is a cult that I've been wanted to bring up to this channel, and that one is gonna take time. But we can just talk about Jeffrey Dahmer until then. He has been trending a lot on TikTok, and yeah, I won't actually have more to say when this video is done. So this one is the last one, and then we're gonna move on to other killers. So yeah, let's get to it. So the Jeffrey Dahmer's tapes is pure documentary. It's nothing like the series Monster. Here you get to hear his session and his interviews. You will also hear a bit from the lawyers, the defense lawyers, psychologists, and the cops. You will get more glimpse about the people surrounding Jeff Dahmer under his rise of criminality. Should I say the height of his criminality? Now, I won't bring everyone up here. Obviously, I'm gonna in fact talk about Dahmer, and we're gonna talk about his defense lawyer, Wendy Particus. The reason why I chose Wendy is because she interviewed him and the tapes were like 32 hours long. She had to sit there and hear all the gruesome stuff he did to these people, but yet still she started to care about him, and she felt like they had somewhat of a connection. When she interviewed Dahmer, she explained that he was very honest, very open, and very polite. He also felt like he deserved punishment for what he did, and he also said himself that he deserved to die. Wendy isn't and wasn't the only one that felt this way. I guess the reason for that is because every time he explained what he did, he also stated that he didn't know why he did this thing. He wished he could understand it so he could get the help he needed, and that was his father's wish as well. The fact that he also had no one to talk to, or no one was willing to give that important time to him, the females probably also felt that that was also sad and it wasn't fair for him. Me personally, I couldn't care less. I do not care if he doesn't understand why he did it. I don't care if he had no one that was willing to give their time to him, or was willing to listen, or that he had no one to talk to. Surely it shouldn't have been that way. His parents should have taken their precious time with their son, but it doesn't matter. 17 people's lives got taken from their families and their friends, and they were important. These people have to live with this grief, this loss, for the rest of their lives. Let's say if Dahmer wasn't dead, the only thing he had to live with is the question, why am I this way and why did I do it? And it doesn't really matter that he started to change in prison and start to turn to faith. 17 people has already died thanks to his compulsions. So I have covered a lot about who Dahmer is in my previous video, like I have linked down the description below, but we can keep it short here. Jeffrey Dahmer killed 17 men 1978, 1991. He would lure them, take them home or to a hotel. He would drug them, knock them out, kill them, dismember their bodies, and during the dismemberment he would take photos, and then he would jerk off to their dead bodies. And of course he would keep souvenirs like the head and the genitalia. He would also eat them, by the way. He started to eat them, and he also started to experiment with them, making them, he wanted to make a zombie so they could live with him for the rest of their lives, but yeah, under his control. So this case was actually given to Wendy to be Jeffrey Dahmer's defense lawyer. So she recorded 32 hours of tapes to prepare for the defense. She stated in the documentary that she somewhat started to feel like a mother to him. He started to feel like a brother, and she also started to feel like even like a psychologist to him. She felt like they had a connection. She started to care about him so much that when Dahmer wanted to get transferred to a public prison because he was in a private one first, she actually begged him not to. She said that she was afraid and scared that he would get hurt, so she even begged him not to. She also visited him when the trial was over. I feel like Dahmer gave her a picture, or other women too, obviously, the picture that he was this confused child that didn't understand himself and didn't understand why he did these baddies. So in a way they felt or feel like he's somewhat of a victim too. What is she doing today? Well, according to her LinkedIn page, she is still working in the justice field. To me, Dahmer feels like a loner. He was someone that was struggling with his sexuality. He didn't want to accept that he was gay because his environment wouldn't. I feel like he didn't have anyone to talk to about these important things like his urges or the body developments and the feelings like every kid or teenager should have gotten from their parents. The parents didn't give the necessary talk, I feel, and either they abandoned him or they argued a lot. He did not want a typical male sex from his victims. He wanted to feel them, smell them, he wanted to see them. He wanted to satisfy his senses, the touch, the smell, the see. And he was very, very fascinated by the male torso, an athletic one. He wanted to feel and touch the male torso. He also didn't want the partner he was with to have any demands on him or even judge him. Most importantly, he did not want them to leave. Every time he felt like they were going to leave him, he knocked them down and killed them so they would never leave ever. The reason why he took pictures was because he admired the athletic male torso. He saw them as his possessions, and that is probably why he kept a part of them, and that is probably also the only feeling he had for them. You know, when you have like a shiny diamond, if you will, it is something so beautiful that you kind of start to care about it and don't want to let go ever. Kind of like that, I guess. When it comes to him pleasuring himself to the dead bodies, I have somewhat of a speculation, if you will. Let's talk about what he said when he killed the hitchhiker. He said, I felt how amazing it was that I was actually doing it to another human being. It shocked me that I got to that point. Feeling of excitement, control, and big fear. Wendy said, I'm gonna fix my things. Wendy said, or asked, did you ever wonder at that time why you felt such a satisfaction to masturbate to his dead body? Yes, I'm not even sure why now. I got an exciting feeling out of it. You know, after a kill, the killer probably gets a rush, right? The blood starts to flow through your body real quick. So I have read a lot of crimes cases. I read a lot of cases, and some people shit a lot when they get this rush, and some people even might get sexually aroused. And let's say if this feeling would stop, let's say if he actually would stop feeling this way after a bunch of kills, then I strongly believe that he wouldn't do it anymore and just find this feeling elsewhere. And he wanted to create a zombie because he didn't want them to leave. Let's say if he succeeded, would he continue to kill? So the question here is he really a sadistic killer? Because let's say if he got what he wanted, let's say if he got a person, I highly doubt it though, let's say he got a person that wouldn't demand anything, wouldn't judge him and just live under his control, would he really have to kill? And would he really have to do these experiments? Let's say if he got actually what he wanted. That is my question. Jeffrey's killing spree or terror, he was active in the golden era of serial killers. There was a lot of serial killers in that era where Jeffrey Dahmer were active. We have the BTK killer, we have the Night Stalker, we have Ted Bundy, and what is the other one's name? The clown. John Wayne Gacy. There was a lot of serial killers during his height of criminality. I think Ted Bundy ended before Jeffrey Dahmer started. I think he was before Jeffrey Dahmer. And it was like a year apart. I don't know. I don't remember. But yeah, it was a lot of things going on then. All of these killers, I'm gonna mention in my channel, of course. The series right now I'm watching is the Midnight Club and The Handmaid's Tale and the documentary of the Night Stalker. The Night Stalker, thus far, right now, is the one I feel is the creepiest. I fear him a little bit, to be honest, because he doesn't discriminate. He takes everyone, and he's a freaking evil shadow from hell. That is how I see him. He's just, that women actually fell in love with him is insane. He is one scary dude. But yeah, guys, that would be it for me today. Thank you so much for watching, and if you did enjoy, please leave a like and subscribe today for more.